Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today we have the Grand Prize. And I bet you're all sitting there going, oh, I bet it's Zendi. Yeah, no. Nope. Let's play a little guessing game. The OP series is called Temporal Cold War. Now, who knows their Star Trek? Temporal Cold War was an Enterprise. Who drove the Temporal Cold War from Archer's perspective? That's right, that would be Daniels. We get a Daniels card, and he's Mirror. Yes, Mirror's getting more love here. Get used to it. Whenever an opposing ship is required to place time tokens on one of its upgrades, you may discard this card to force that ship to place one additional time token on that upgrade. Or, during the combat phase, you may discard this card to choose any number of your dice and re-roll them. Basically a do-over. He's a 5-point crew. And while thematic, I don't know how super duper playable he is. I will say that getting one extra time token is pretty good, but realistically, if somebody's utilizing time token upgrades, they're basically saying I'm okay waiting, so they're probably okay waiting one more round. And if you're trying to reroll your dice, there's better ways to reroll your dice. Still, I like that you have the option, and you might catch somebody just trying to sneak in a cool little time token upgrade, and I think that they're going to be doing more stuff with time token upgrades, so Daniels is probably somebody that gets better down the road. Right now, he may not be great, but let's keep him in mind as future cards come out that utilize time tokens, because I think he could be something going forward. Now, we wouldn't have Daniels without his Temporal Observatory. And this is a question mark card. 6 points. You may fill a crew, tech, or weapon upgrade slot. Thank you, WizKids, for clarifying the slots on this card. Action. Place 3 time tokens on this card. During the planning phase, after all ships have chosen their maneuvers, you may peek at a number of opposing maneuvers equal to the number of time tokens on this card. You may then change your chosen maneuver. Discard this card after the last time token is removed. So, essentially, from my understanding of this card, you do this thing once, you put 3 time tokens on it, and rather than discarding it right away, you get to look at 3 time tokens the first round, and then it maintains text, so it actually breaks the ruling from the WizKids official rules forum. And then the next time that you get into the planning phase, you'll get to look at 2 chosen maneuvers, and then one more round you'll get to look at 1 chosen maneuver, and then that last token will go off, and then you'll discard Temporal Observatory. So this is a card that keeps on working. If it works that way, this card is actually really, really cool. If it doesn't work that way, if this is place 3 time tokens on it, look at 3 maneuvers, and then functionally it does nothing, this card is really wacky and should have been worded completely differently, and WizKids needs to hire me to actually work for them. Sorry to ambush a preview video like that. Also in this pack, we have the Benefactor. Yes, they finally gave this guy a name. An elite talent. At the start of the game, place 3 mission tokens on this card. When you are required to place time tokens on one of your upgrades, you may discard any number of mission tokens from this card to place 1 less time token for each mission token discarded. When there are no more mission tokens on this card, discard it. Well, that makes sense. You have nothing good to do, so a 5-point upgrade. Essentially saves you 3 time tokens, speeding you up 3 rounds. I'm okay with this one costing 5. Yeah, of course it's better if it costs less, but hey, there's nothing wrong with it costing 5 points. Mirror's got a lot of cool stuff. This thing giving you 3 mission tokens, I like it. I like what this thing does. Again, this is going to be better with more time tokens. This existing gives you more reasons to take Daniels to add time tokens to your opponent's upgrades. I like what's there. Alright, so that's 3 of the 5 cards here. This leaves us with our captain, because if we have an elite talent, of course we have to have a captain, and our tech. One spoils the other. So I'm going to give you the captain first, and that is Vosk. Skill 7 with a talent slot, 4 points, which, good pricing. Vosk does not pay a faction penalty when fielding an elite talent upgrade. We've seen this before, but I still like it. Once per game, when an opposing upgrade causes one of your upgrades to be discarded, you may place 3 time tokens on that card instead. Essentially, he sends it to the future, or the past. One of the two. He sends it out of time. Boy, this makes me really wish that the Krenim had come out once they had introduced time tokens, because, that ship could have been really great. Still, Vosk, I like him. He's protection. Now, granted, your opponent has to mess with you, and they have to discard your stuff, but we just saw in the Zendis, there's crew that can make you discard. There's other cards in this game that make you discard, so placing 3 time tokens is reasonable. I think Vosk has a home, maybe not right now, but going forward. Somebody to keep in your back pocket and go, okay, let's see what happens. I like that. And of course, Vosk would not be complete if he did not have his Temporal Conduit. Action. Discard this card to redeploy one of your previously discarded upgrade cards with a cost of 4 SP or less to your ship. This counts faction penalty. And any other costs, like not on a ship of hull 3 or less, or not on a Romulan ship, or whatever. Place 3 time tokens on that upgrade. This upgrade cost 5 SP more for any non-mirror universe ship, so functionally 11. Meaning, if you want to work any crazy shenanigan combos, you are going to pay a lot to do it. This is the card I alluded to in a previous video and/or on Warp Core Breach about having a big uh-oh moment, but I did my research, and upgrade cards of cost 4 or less really don't break this game if you can pick them up from being discarded. For a long time we said if there is a way to resurrect a talent, we'd be in big trouble, and that is still true, but that's cost of 5 or 6 talent of cost 4 or less, because we'll be in a world where fleet captains don't make talents free, especially upon redeploy. Temporal Conduit isn't going to be an issue. So from that standpoint, I think we're good here. I like this card though. It lets you bring back something. It's very expensive. And because it's very expensive, you have to really decide if it's something you want to have as part of your combo. And the reality is, you're not always going to want it. But when you do, you're going to have a really good reason for wanting to bring something back. There are cheaper ways to bring back crew. Wayun, Sopek. There are probably better ways to bring back weapons. Take another copy. Where this comes back is tech and elite talents. And it's going to have some use. So, I like it. I think that this pack as a whole is very thematic, right? This deals with the Temporal Cold War. Everything here is Cold War. I think a lot of these cards are laying a foundation and saying, hey, these will be more useful in the future because they deal with time tokens. Even if they're not, even if they maintain the level of playability that the Q Grand Prize gave us, that pack still has some pretty playable cards. And you know what? It's a grand prize, so the reality is that 1, 2, maybe 3 people in your venue are going to have it. And it shouldn't be the biggest, baddest thing. We want cards that people want to go out and win, but shouldn't feel like they can't win games if they don't own. And anytime you have that, we're good. Like, I looked at these cards and I'm like, hey, that's really cool. Hey, that's pretty cool. But none of them make me go, oh, great, they're putting that in the game? No, I said, hey, that's awesome. Like, that's super thematic. Like, I love where they're coming from with this. They incorporated a lot of these cards from the show, and they said, great, here you go in the game. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. And until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.